Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about the different types of karate there is. First thing first, there are as many karate styles as there is the seas, the sand in the on the beach. A lot comes from something comes from something, then that comes from something, and then people just form their basis. My particular style, Shotokan, came from Gichin Furukoshi, who is considered the father of modern karate. Many styles is derived from Shotokan. Many styles, Taekwondo, Kenjutsu, I'm not pronounced that correct. American Kempo, some form of it. Goju Ryu, Shorin Ryu. There's so many styles of karate. And even what Furukoshi did was he took two styles and two different areas, which is Japanese karate and Okinawan karate, which is very, very different, even though it's in the partner region area. Okinawa stemmed from islands, and then Japanese karate, of course, is the mainland of Japan. Very different philosophy, different in thinking, different martial arts, different kata. Even though it's basically the same area, I've definitely never been to Japan. I know nothing about Japan life. I study the history of my karate and the different meaning behind of it. Very different. If you're from there, it's a different mindset, philosophy, rigidness. How do that play a part in American lifestyle? Well, as you probably know, World War II changed everything, and U.S. soldiers went over there, after World War II, and then it was taught to them, and then they brought it to America, and then probably the 70s and 80s was just a huge explosion in karate, in popularity and movies and shows and Karate Kid and all this stuff. And of course Bruce Lee, even though he's not karate, it brought an explosion of people wanting to explore martial arts as their way of life, a way to defend themselves. So karate comes from that region, and is basically the name Shotokan. It derives of pine waves, the house of the pine waves, which is kan means the house of, and Shoto was the pet name of Gichin Furukoshi, which was pine waves. So his students named it Shotokan, and that's where the name kind of stick. It's the popular of all karate, in Shotokan, in dojos and as practitioner. Like I said, something comes from something, and a lot came from Shotokan karate. Even Taekwondo, and you say Taekwondo, well, it was I can't think of Tang Song Do, because when Japan occupied the Korean areas, Koreans wasn't able to learn their own martial arts stuff. So for a while, all they had was what Japan offered, which was Shotokan karate, and then Tang Soo Do, then Taekwondo, and then it went that way. So it's almost like something begot something. So that's what happened in karate. Karate consists of three things: kata, kihon, and kumite. Kumite stands for sparring. Some is control. Some of it is very rigid. Some of it is just full-fledged. It depends on the dojo. Some go as hard as the BJJ go, 5 people, in 30-minute span. There's some karate dojos that go 5 minutes and you switch 5-6 people. Or if they tested for belt like I did, I face like in my Shinjin Ryu, which is a diversion of Shotokan. Konishi studied actually with Gicho Funakoshi, and then he formed his own style, and then he added some additional help with the founder of Aikido. So it's a fabulous thing about knowing your history. And I don't fully know all of it. I'm always kind of revamping, trying to learn something to help me be a little bit better in my knowledge, because I believe if you know the history, then you know where you're going. So how you gonna know a style but you don't know the history of what it is? So people would say, well, why are you studying? You don't know who found what. And some people say, well, it's that's important. Yeah, it is important, because my last name is a reflection of who I am. It's my legacy. I know about my family history as much as black people could learn in times of slavery, which, is sketchy after a certain period. But learning my last name and then the history behind that give me a greater sense of pride and give me a direction of what I'm trying to pass on to my daughter. It's the same way with your martial arts. I take pride in knowing what I am. I'm Shotokan, and represented by the tiger, which is strength, nobility, assertiveness, but strong, but aggressive, and knowing that give me a great sense of what I'm studying. So it's even the same way pursuing jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu take their lineage very seriously. You can go from Father. You can go from the Gracies. You can go from, it's so many. I myself don't know the lineage as well as I know karate. I read, but it's so much. I just know that Gracie took it and ran with it. Even though Gracie is a household legend name, there's many Maso, there's many people that come from different lineage, to make up jiu-jitsu. So I take the same way in karate. But yeah, it's a lot to kind of take in when you study. But once you study, you have a better sense of what you are. And basically, I put a lot of time in this. I put a lot of time in the philosophy of what karate presents, the calmness, the strength, the sense of honor, the sense of nobility, the sense of being quiet but strong, being soft but hard. Karate is a way of life if you make it. If you don't make it a way of life, it'll show. Because most people if you don't make this your way of life, and that's any martial arts, if you don't make it your way of life, you tend to you're gonna phase out. And I have ran across many people that has phased out of karate, jiu-jitsu. I've especially in jiu-jitsu, I've lost more people than it's just a high turnover because jiu-jitsu is hard. Karate tends to have less turnover, but it depends on the dojo and it depends on the politics of it all. So yeah, that is a little bit information of Shotokan Karate, which is considered the branch of where karate is, and many styles come from it. And it's definitely over 100 years old on the Shotokan side. So and of course it came from something. So that's all I have. Have a good one.